Okay, so basically this week, Vladimir Putin went to like the African summit. I can't remember like which summit this was. I think it was like an African summit on finance in South Africa. But there was all of this stuff where like I think NATO was calling for South Africa to arrest Putin, and they basically said, no, we're not going to make enemies with Russia and start a war, because that's definitely would have happened. But then Vladimir Putin like gets up and he's basically talking about how the fastest growth in population and in like the young population specifically is in Africa and amongst African people. And so he literally ended up, I think he forgave like $12 billion of debt or something. I feel like that's what happened. You can read about this a little bit more. And I guess there's going to be like another conference about BRICS that's happening, which is basically a whole bunch of nations, including some nations in Africa. Like I feel like Ethiopia was applying for this to stop using the dollar as the primary currency of trade in the country, which makes sense. So I feel like it's like Brazil, Russia, Italy, I don't know what the C is, and South Africa. I think I can't remember what the C is, but yeah, so oh, it's China. Duh, it's China. And so all of these countries want to use their own currency as the major currency of trade, which if that happens, I think it will push the American dollar down in terms of its like uh power globally. Like the reason right now America is a global economic superpower is because all of these like developing nations are using the currency. But if they stop using the currency, now what is backing the American dollar, it actually becomes a real problem, just because America owes a significant amount of debt to China, which a lot of people who are not into economics and finance have not been following that. But then America actually has to pay China. And we don't really have many resources to like trade with China. Like we don't really have it. So it's a problem.